Hello, happy souls. YouTube is not allowing me to upload. So I thought I'd do it live. There's no one here yet, but that's okay. The video will still be here later. Okay, happy souls. Welcome back to my channel. My name's Charlotte with Happy Souls 1111. We're going to do a tarot reading today to catch up on the post 1010, post full moon energies. The 1010 portal has been pretty intense. I did a poll on my community page yesterday, and I think it was about 65% of people have found this full moon really, really tough. So if you're feeling a bit rough, you're not alone. Okay, so we're going to have a really meaty reading today. We're going to have a look at each connection. Obviously, there'll be no pile stamps below, so I'm going to start with pile 1. We've got amethyst here, garnet, and lepidolite. So I'm just going to move those two piles up there, and we're going to start with pile 1. We're looking at the divine masculine and the feminine, so we've got a significator for each. So for the feminine, we've got Queen of the Moon, sovereignty. And for the masculine, we've got the waning gibbous moon, wisdom. Wow, okay. Feminine, we've got the chariot, the 10 of cups, 5 of pentacles reversed, Queen of swords reversed, the hanged man, and the 7 of cups. I'm just going to check that you can see all the cards. Yes, you can. Perfect. I can't see your comments, by the way, because the camera's up there and I'm not looking at it. So, masculine. We've got the King of Pentacles, the Knight of Cups, the 2 of Wands, the Page of Cups, the 9 of Swords reversed, and Temperance. For the connecting energies, we've got 2 of Cups reversed, the 10 of Wands. And we've got some oracle cards for both. Defeat and communication. Fear and birth. And the cards to go in the middle is meditation, and we'll read that one later. Okay, so what are the energies for pile 1, post 1010, post full moon? Let's have a look, see. So feminine on the left, masculine on the right, connecting energies down the middle. For the feminine, we've got number 41, sovereignty. So this reduces to 5, which is the number of divine authority, power and learning. Change also, it's a transitional number. Sovereignty means about, being really clear. And this is a very powerful lineup we've got for the divine feminine today. So you may be feeling defeated by this 10-10 portal in this moon, but actually the energies are really, really powerful for you, pile 1. I feel like this portal has opened a huge amount of clarity for you. And this energy that you're sitting in at the moment, this chariot, number 7, this divine power, is literally about being shoved forward. I did a reading on Instagram the other day, actually, which talked about the resistance and surrender energies, these very strong push-pull energies within the divine feminine. Kind of, I'm in it, now I'm giving up. I'm in it, now I'm giving up. And it's a very similar feeling from this pile. Things are rushing forward towards union energies. And I think, union energies can be pretty stressful. They bring up a lot of doubt. They bring up a lot of fear. You're going to have a lot of triggers as you reach this stage. And I feel like that's what's happening here. The communication may have dropped off or become somewhat stilted. And this has left you feeling defeated, like perhaps you haven't made as much progress as you thought you had. And you've kind of fallen back into feeling these abandonment, rejection and loss triggers of feeling left out in the cold. But you needn't be disheartened. This is about keeping the faith. You really have come so far. You know, you're holding... I want to show you this card because it's a really powerful one. As I said, it's called Sovereignty, which in my SRT practice refers to having full possession of your soul and being in control of, you know, of your own spirituality and your connection to source. So this is a very powerful image. It's showing you that you have all the knowing you need. You're connected in a beautifully clear way, but this is a transitional period. We've got 2 5s here, and you just have to roll with these uncomfortable currents right now because they are moving you in the right direction. So stop looking externally for validation of things working. Quite often we measure our progress by what's happening outside of us, and what's happening outside of us is often, you know, part of this cycle of change that can be uncomfortable. It's not a reflection of the whole. So you have to be really pragmatic about this. But there is this feeling of being shoved forward, of rushing forward, but you are being pushed in the right direction to the 10 of Cups. You know, this is union energies. And the 10-10 portal, of course, 10 is the number of completion. So for a lot of people, you know, you may be finding that yourself or your person are being, you know, literally dragged forward, and anything that hasn't yet been resolved and those cycles that haven't yet been closed out may be coming to a very rough end. So this is going to create wobbles in your alignment and in the alignment of your masculine also. So, you know, the masculine is definitely, we've got this as a number 4, which is really powerful. It's the number of balance, harmony, stability. It's also the number of the masculine, the emperor, of masculine energies. This is definitely a big, powerful rebirth for him. We've got fear and birth here, but of course, change brings with it quite a lot of, as we said, with the divine feminine, it brings a lot of upheaval. So I feel like both parties are being triggered very hard again. I'm really guided to notice how many eyes are in these oracle cards that have come up. Again, you're looking with your 3D eyes at the external circumstances when you need to be looking within. And even the masculine's card shows someone reaching for the moon, reaching for intuition. They're stood on top of the books. You know, their 3D knowledge is a stable footing. But to reach true wisdom, they have to reach to their own higher self, to their own intuition. And the masculine is definitely being triggered to do this at the moment if you've chosen this pile. You know, he's in this King of Pentacles energy, which is very powerful. And this is a beautiful new deck. You can see here, this is the King of Pentacles. It's a very unusual card. You see this mirror image here with a girl walking towards this portal. And if you look really closely, you can see that there's roses which represent unconditional love just drifting into the portal. So this is a very powerful image for the King of Pentacles, because whilst he represents abundance, you know, in this card, this is a journey forward. This person's being drawn across that bridge into a powerful new beginning. And with the Knight of Cups here, you know, this is very powerful. This is about incoming... What's the word I'm looking for? This is some kind of apology or communication that he's planning. I feel like he wants to come forward. He's looking for the right opportunity, for the right words. He's figuring out how to overcome his fears. But there's still self-worth issues here. There's a lack of confidence in the route forward. And these are the triggers that he is experiencing. But this really is a rebirth for him. This 10-10 portal has been powerful, but he's not been fully drawn through it yet. There's some resistance there, is what I'm hearing. He's very trapped in his emotions, and he's looking for a way forward. He's examining the situation between you very closely. So he may be very quiet at this time, But the general mood of these cards so far is that all is not as it seems. When you look externally at 3D reality, you're seeing, specific things occur, and it's left you feeling confused because it doesn't look good. But it's just a cyclic change that feels uncomfortable for both of you, which is why there may be some there may be a lot of confusion. Too many eyes on the present and not enough on the higher mind. You're not liking what you're seeing actually pan out externally, Divine Feminine. Is what I'm hearing here. But you need to release these rejection triggers. You're so done with that work, and I know it feels like you're painful that you're having to cycle back through it, but it's because you're being asked to look again at the same lessons from a higher perspective so that you can move into these union energies. Union energies are currently blocked, but you're there. You're on the cusp, because we've got 2 of Cups reversed here, but if you turn it upright, you've got these beautiful pandas. Again, lots of roses in this reading. With those rings of roses around their neck, symbols of unconditional love. And there's butterflies fluttering around them. There's this powerful, powerful change. But this is the connecting energy here, and this is blocked for you both. And I feel that the masculine is certainly, I'm getting a bit of the green-eyed monster here for him as well. There could have been some jealous spat or some kind of conflict in your communication. And I think the Divine Feminine has probably lost her footing against her better judgment. She's, been drawn into conflict. We've got the Queen of Swords in reverse here, which can indicate quite spiteful or bitter communication. Certainly not loving communication. And this comes under the communication card. But the masculine is really figuring out how to come forward. He's been drawn through this portal, whether he likes it or not. He's terribly afraid. He's afraid of losing you. So his fear of loss has been triggered, and this is prompting him to take action. But right now he's made a decision. And he's looking at how to move forward, how to come forward with an apology. And I'm picking up that he's feeling quite sheepish about this as well. It could be that he's also aware that he behaved, in a less than fair or mature way. And rather than rising up to meet you, you've been dragged down to his kind of level of some kind of conflict or glitch in communication, which has caused a breakdown. In terms of how you need to move forward, we've got meditation as the connecting card up here for both of you, and this is about taking a moment to connect to source through quiet reflective meditation. I'm actually doing a surrender meditation for my Facebook group members next week. I'll pop a link on my community page for you guys if you'd like to join us in that. It's completely free. But connecting to source, Divine Feminine, is particularly important for you. You're holding the moon. You're already connected. Your Divine Masculine is reaching out. So now is a powerful time to connect with him astrally and to try and resolve some of this conflict or drama that's occurred between you there, to bring yourself back into alignment and stillness so that the energies can settle and this union energy can once more flow freely. At the moment, you're blocking your own union, Divine Feminine, because you're out of balance. And you're also refusing to surrender. We've got the Hanged Man in reverse here. You know what you need to do. You've had this higher perspective. And this reduces to number 3, the number of the Empress. This is, to surrender to spirit is what this journey is all about. And you're so close. You're so close to that surrender point and being thrust into union energies. You may have some other options at the moment. I feel like you could have possibly had an opportunity presented to you. It might not be romantic. It could be a career, a move, or something that could potentially impact your connection. And that's been playing on your mind in light of the recent difficulties between you and your masculine. But he's in a very emotional place, and now is not the time to give up on your journey. I feel really guided to turn this one over and read it at this stage. It says, you may not always understand why certain things happen. However, there is always a higher purpose to the events in your life. Through turmoil, a blessing will soon be revealed. Well, there you go. You know, I know this feels really tumultuous and hard right now. It feels like you've cycled backwards, but you haven't. What's happened is this 1010 portal, which is a portal of completion, one, unity, has shoved you forward, you know, really pushing you to surrender, really pushing you towards union energies. And both of you have kind of wobbled really hard. You've felt the intensity of those energies and it's kind of knocked you off balance. But your masculine is in a very emotional place. We've got the Page of Cups here for him, which is, again, you know, this is about wanting to come forward with messages, apologies, and with the Knight as well. This is very powerful romantic energy. But he's not released all of the anxiety and fear that's associated with this connection yet. He's still, with Temperance here, taking time to rebalance. There are things that still need to be illuminated. This is such a twinny deck. Sorry, this is a new deck. It's called the Muse Tarot. I've not really looked at it before. But again, hopefully you can see this. You've got this mirror image here holding the moons. And then this person looking quite pensive. So Temperance is about balancing and harmonizing. You know, this is what we're seeing in this number 4 over here, this wisdom energy. The connecting energy here is 10 of Wands. This is another 10. It's another number of completion. And the 10 of Wands asks you to continue because you're so close. You know, this is about endurance now, about carrying that weight and looking forward to celebrating your achievement. Look at this card. You see the fireworks going off? You're so close. 1010 portal, pushing you towards completion, towards union energy. So now is not the time to flounder. Now is not the time to lose faith. You're being asked to remember that there's a higher purpose to everything. And actually, you know, the fact that he's been a bit green-eyed monster and shitty with you is a really powerful indicator that he cares. I know it's not the kind of conflicting communication you want, but it is a really powerful indicator that he cares. You know, people don't have extreme reactions. And if you're still not having faith in his feelings and the connection between you, then you really need to check yourself, because you have access to this knowledge and you know what surrender is, but you've cycled backwards. As I said, you've dropped down to his level rather than demanding that he rises up to meet you. And this is what has caused this temporary stalemate or stagnant energy in your connection. He may have been shitty, but you've not responded in a loving way either. And you're being asked to look at things from a much broader perspective and to understand that the divine plan presents many opportunities, many options through which you can learn your lessons, but you ultimately have free will and a choice. And a big part of this kind of stop-start energy, which is holding back your union, is to do with making those decisions and choices for yourself. I feel like you've been procrastinating and so indecisive that, you know, you've just been trapped in the emotional current of this situation rather than allowing yourself to flow with the current energies, which are moving you towards union. Yeah, this is very powerful. I'm just going to get a couple more. In fact, let's use these. What do you need to do to move forward? Really interesting energies here. You definitely need to settle down, divine feminine. Get back into your meditative practice. As I said, if you want to come to my meditation, guided meditation, it's free. I believe it's this Saturday night. If you're a member of my Facebook group, you can join that for free. All the information is on there. What else can you do to move forward? Let's get one for the connecting energy as well. Others' opinions are less important than your personal guidance system. So you don't want to be paying attention to people who have an opinion about your journey, particularly if they're not twins and don't understand it. It says here, you did not intend to use the opinions of others to measure against your beliefs, desires, or actions in order to determine the appropriateness of them. Instead, you knew and still remembered long after you were born that it was the relationship between the opinion of the source within you and your current thoughts in any moment that would offer you perfect guidance in the form of your emotional guidance system. And this is what you need to be connected to the divine feminine, your own sovereignty, your own higher intuition. I love the way they describe that, your own emotional guidance system. Trust your own inner guidance in terms of how to move forward with this. You are being triggered. And quite often, actually this came up for me this week, and I'm going to share this with you because it seems really appropriate here, because this is undoubtedly, if you've picked this pile, you're a fairly highly evolved divine feminine. You know what surrender is. You've tasted it, okay? You've just cycled backwards slightly. But this has happened to me recently, and my guides pointed out to me that when because I've got so good at mind control, I've got so good at squashing negative thoughts. You know, when these invasive, intrusive, ugly thoughts or feelings come in, I just dismiss them. I don't indulge them. I don't entertain them. And what my guide said to me is that, you know, you're not allowing yourself to feel the triggers beneath the surface because you've been so diligent and determined in shoving everything away. There is a difference between a negative thought and a trigger. And what they guided me to do to identify the difference was, when you feel bad, you have to ask yourself, did these negative feelings that I'm experiencing in this moment stem from a thought that I'd had, and so I've created the feelings myself through indulging those negative thoughts, or were they spontaneous feelings that weren't born of negative thoughts? If it was the latter, if you just suddenly feel overwhelmed and sad and you're being reminded of sad things or, you know, sad emotions, if it's not born out of some thought you've already had in your head, it's probably a trigger, and it doesn't serve you to squash it down. If it's the case that you've been sat there, you know, going around in circles in your head with really bad thoughts, they're going to lead to bad feelings. So you know, if the thought comes before the feeling, it's just a negative thought and you can push it away. But if the feelings come before the thoughts, it's probably a trigger. And as I said, you mustn't feel bad. You're cycling back through old lessons because you're being called to see them from this higher sovereign perspective. This is a time of transition and change, and you need to release those final shadow aspects of self. For the masculine, we've got life is supposed to be good for me. That is our strongest message to you. Life is supposed to be good for you. Do your best to find the best of the positive aspects that surround you. Look for things to appreciate, even if there aren't that many. Look for things to feel good about. Give your attention as best you can to the best things that are going on in your experience, with the determination to train yourself into the best feeling vibration that you can find right here and now. So this is really about stepping into that positive state of mind. And I really do feel... Hold on, what number is this? And this is also a number 4. This is the energy that the divine masculine is stepping into. He's releasing fear. He's releasing negative thoughts. But this is what he really needs to hang on to. The connecting energy for the final guidance is beautiful. The law of attraction assembles happy relationships. The law of attraction cannot bring you a well-balanced, happy person if you are not yourself already that. No matter what you do or say, the law of attraction will bring to you those who predominantly match the person who you predominantly are. If you are not happy with yourself or with your life, the attraction of a partner will only exaggerate the discord, because any action taken from a place of lack is always counterproductive. The law of attraction assembles happy relationships. Remember what this said. There is a higher purpose to the events of your life. Through turmoil, a blessing will soon be revealed. Take a moment to connect to source, because you are attracting by energy. And if your energy is out of balance, you know, that it's going to be repellent between you rather than magnetic. As soon as you both come into alignment, you know, you're moving towards union energies. So I really hope that that helped Par 1. It was lovely to read for you. If you'd like to make a booking with me, there is a special offer at the moment. You can find a coupon code on my community page, which will give you 45% off a 30-minute booking. This is to celebrate my achieving or hitting 3,000 subscribers. Thank you so much. You guys are amazing. It's very humbling that many people are actually interested in what I have to say. I'm absolutely delighted. So that's a little treat for you guys. You can get a heavily discounted reading from me. The offer is only open to the end of October. I don't have much availability this week, but there's still some for next week. And you can book at www.happysouls1111.com. Okay, Part 2. What's happening in your connection post 1010 and the full moon? For the Divine Feminine, we've got a number 3, resilience. For the Divine Masculine, we've got a number 6, action. For the Divine Feminine, we've got justice reversed. We've got the 8 of Pentacles. We've got the 7 of Pentacles. We've got the Devil. The 2 of Wands. And the 3 of Swords reversed. For the masculine, we've got the 8 of Cups, the Chariot, the 7 of Swords reversed, the 4 of Cups, the 9 of Pentacles reversed, and the 5 of Pentacles. Oh, there's an extra one here for the masculine. I must have drawn too many. That's the 10 of Pentacles. Connecting energies, we've got the Emperor and another 4 of Pentacles. That is interesting. No, sorry, it was 5 of Pentacles. Okay. Oracle cards. We've got anxiety and self-care. And for the masculine, self-doubt and love. For the connecting energy, we've got free spirit, and I will read that one shortly. Pardon me. Okay, Part 2. So Divine Feminine, what's happening in your connection post 1010 portal, post full moon? This has been a rough ride for you, is what I'm feeling. Tuning into the energies. I mean, you're really being asked to show resilience at the moment, and I feel like, you know, the anxiety has perhaps overwhelmed you in the last couple of days. It's thrown you off balance. It feels unfair that you're finding yourself back in this difficult place. I feel like you've probably been pretty kind to yourself and doing quite well for a while. You've been working really hard at patience. In fact, I'd say you've made an art form out of patience. You've been really patient. You've worked really hard. You've really invested in yourself and in this journey. This is similar to Part 1 in that I feel there's a lot of old triggers being regurgitated for you. And it really does feel like a big weight to be carrying. But you do have your key to anxiety. I'm fascinated that this anxiety card, it features all of these handcuffs and so forth, which is very similar to the anxious attachment, unhealthy attachment energy of the devil. But I'm very guided that you, for the most part, you're picking up the energy of your twin. You know, as you begin to collapse this codependency template, I feel like you're picking up, you know, it's almost like there's been a transfer of energies back and forward. And it's interesting that you've got self-care and he's got self-doubt. You've got anxiety and he's got love, you know. I feel like you're really, really deeply connected in this moment, and this is what's thrown you off balance, Divine Feminine. But you are, like Part 1, being asked to cycle back through some old triggers, and there is a degree of frustration and impatience about this. But I know that you will choose to do that work. You know how to do it. But there is still some healing remaining here. And I'm picking up with both the Justice and the 3 of Swords, both in reverse, that this could be karmic cycles. you know, the 1010 portal and this very masculine full moon, which was in Aries, which is, you know, the divine masculine sign, the sign of the Emperor. And it's also very action-oriented energy. And it's interesting that we've got action and the Chariot here for the masculine. But it's a very action-oriented energy. You're being called to action. And that can be overwhelming, you know, but you're being asked to be really resilient at this time, to step into your divine feminine power. You know how to do this work. And you know how to make that decision that your own world is in your own hands. And it's not that you've fallen completely out of alignment. It's just that you've been presented with these triggers again. And much like this came up in part 1, that you're being asked to review old lessons through a new lens, to move back through that learning so that you can experience it from this position of higher wisdom and learning that you've accumulated with your diligence and hard work. And the 8 of Pentacles, of course, 8 is an infinite number. It cycles back in on itself. This is reminding you that that work of healing is infinite, that it's ongoing, and that you need to keep choosing it. You mustn't give up. Our healing is never done. The anxiety you're feeling is born of just this absolute sheer weight of this push that's come with these very strong energies. So don't beat yourself up. That's going to dissipate. You're being called here in the connecting energies to be a free spirit, to float without walls, you know, to fly without judgment, it says here, and to love without conditions. That's a beautiful energy. For the masculine, you know, he's in this very action-oriented energy, and this is a number 6, which is the number of unconditional love. And it's really interesting, this self-doubt card, you know, there's a mirror image here. One person holds the cup with the star in it, but look at what's in the mirror. I'm going to bring this closer so you can see it. What's being mirrored back is fear. You know, you're presenting this beautiful offer, but what's being mirrored back is fear. Wow, this looks great, but it feels terrifying. So, you know, there's a tremendous amount of self-doubt and self-worth issues still here, but it's underpinned by love. You've got this 6, you know, and love, what's Arthur saying? Love always wins against fear. In the end, is what I'm hearing. He's also got an 8 over here. He's got the 8 of Cups. The connecting energy is the Emperor. You know, and also 2019 is a divine feminine year. It reduces to number 3, the number of the Empress, which is this card here, number 3. But the 1010 portal in this Aries full moon is pushing us towards the 2020 energies, which is, of course, the number 4 year, the year of the divine masculine. So this is why we're being pushed so hard towards surrender. Okay, this is the divine saying, come on now, let's get this moving. Divine feminine, you need to be on your way, because it's the masculine's turn to enter this really powerful healing cycle of awakening and change. The wounds you're healing are old ones. They're to do with old karmic cycles. These may not be relationships you're still in. Betrayal is indicated. And I believe it is for him as well. You both mirror each other in that way with these rejection wounds that you're holding. But he's also on this inner journey. And whilst you're doing the work very practically from a healing perspective and actually working on yourself, he's just going within, you know, not necessarily in a spiritual way, but he's definitely in a place of deep inner reflection, of going on an inner journey of self-discovery and figuring out how to move forward. But there's a lot of action here. We've got the 7, the Chariot, and this is such a beautiful card. We see all of these horses racing forward. And look, this lady is releasing the dark into the ground, and she's emanating this beautiful white light from the center of her solar plexus. In fact, it's between her heart and her solar plexus, which is in twin healing. When I look at twin energy, this cord is connects two twins. It's like it connects your twin flame light to one another. So, you know, you're probably, a lot of this anxiety, as I said, is because of his projections. This cord is very, very responsive to one another's feelings. And this is probably why you're responding with anxiety, because it's his anxiety. And he's anxious about some truth which hasn't yet been revealed. And I don't know if he knows the truth himself. This is, again, there's so many beautiful mirror images in this deck. I love it. This is a very twinny deck if you're interested. It's called the Muse Tarot by Chris Ann. I'm going to bring this close to you as well so you can see it. So this is the Seven of Swords, which traditionally symbolises deception. But in this card you can see, foxes, which represent strategy and cunning. And this lady with her foxy head is being drawn across this bridge into this forest where this beautiful, brilliant light is. Bearing in mind that the forest represents earth, this is about grounding the truth in reality so that it can be set free. So I do feel like, he's pretty worried about coming forward. He knows there's stuff he's got to tell you. He's planning how to do that. It's not so much that he's been dishonest or deceptive, but that he doesn't know how to reveal his authenticity or his authentic feelings. He's terrified of rejection. With this Five of Cups energy here, they're terrified of being cast out, of being left out in the cold if you know the truth. So, this could be something that he should have told you before that he hasn't told you, didn't feel able to discuss with you. But he's really wrapped up in his own head at the moment. I wouldn't be surprised if communication is somewhat stagnant between the two of you. This self-doubt with the Chariot and all this anxiety he's projecting because he's being pushed forward and he doesn't feel quite ready, and he's having to face these truths and figure out how to discuss it with you. And we've got the Nine of Pentacles in reverse. I'm getting very strongly here this is an imbalance in his masculine, feminine energies. He's not able to yet receive unconditional love because he doesn't have it for himself. That's why when you're making this offer, it's just triggering his self-doubt, his fear of rejection. So whilst you guys are being pushed towards these surrender and union energies, I think for you two it's probably quite challenging because, he's not quite ready. And these astrological pushes don't really care much for our individual concerns. It's all about driving the collective forward. And so he's probably finding this particularly challenging. So he could be very withdrawn right now from communication, very wrapped up in his own head and emotions, and really trying to figure out a way forward, but he is being pushed. It feels like a pressure building inside him that he's got to do something. The extra card that flew out for your Divine Masculine is such a beautiful union card. This is the Ten of Pentacles. And as you can see here, it's this beautiful tree with roses all over it, which represent unconditional love, and just a circle of unity. People all holding hands all the way around it. This is union. So it's on his mind, but I think his fears and self-doubt and all of these painful triggers he's currently experiencing are at odds with his desires. Yes, he's being called to action and he is being pushed forward, but he's just so off balance right now that he's really, really struggling with it. So it's possible that he's not communicating with you. The connecting energies here are the Emperor and the Four of Pentacles. So much four energy in this reading. Of course, four is the number of balance, harmony, stability, security, and the Divine Masculine. But, he's not giving anything away. This is both parties holding back, of being propelled forward. And again, I talked about this in a post I put on Instagram yesterday. The energies within the Divine Feminine, it's like resistance and surrender. I want to go forward. That feels scary. Let me move back. Oh, no, I'm going to go forward. No, I'm going to come back. It's like you're getting these pushed forward. And when you touch that kind of surrender and union energy, it feels so scary because it's triggering you, which is his job. That's what it's meant to do, that you pull back again. So this push-pull energy actually mimics what we experienced at the very beginning of the runner-chaser stage. You do experience this again as you move towards union energies because it starts to get really intense. And this is what I see is happening here between you two, especially for the masculine. He's being driven by the divine plan to rush forward, but he's not ready. So this one says, life is a series of constantly shifting cycles. When we resist change, we resist the natural flow of life and create unnecessary stress. Go with the flow. You'll be surprised where it leads. Wow. So That's really powerful. So you're really being asked, Divine Feminine, to just allow yourself to move forward. Be resilient now. I know it feels hard, but when you hit that kind of point where you step out of your comfort zone, keep going. Trust that it's going to be okay. You've got to keep the faith at this stage. I feel like you're wobbling really hard between, oh, I have faith, no, I don't. Oh, I have faith, no, I don't. It's kind of an ongoing battle in your mind at the moment, and you just need to be still. Right, so let's get one each for the masculine and a connecting one. Divine Feminine, your guidance. Everything is always working out for me. Nothing ever goes wrong because every piece of contrast, no matter how wrong it seems to be, is always helping you clarify what it is you do want. And that is the thing that we want you to remember most of all, the contrast. No matter how it looks in any moment, it is contributing mightily to your expansion. The things that you call things going wrong in your life experience are actually only the distance between the things that are so right and your current perspective about them. Wow. That's really powerful. So nothing's actually going wrong. Things are moving in the right direction. You just need to adjust your perspective and trust. For the masculine, the essence of my every desire can be fulfilled. If your time-space reality has the wherewithal to inspire a desire within you, it is our absolute promise to you that your time-space reality has the ability to deliver in full manifested form the reality of the desire it has inspired. The essence of any and all desires can be fulfilled unless you are holding yourself out of alignment with your own desire. The feeling of competition, shortage, limitation of resources means you are out of alignment with your own desire, and that's exactly what he is. He knows what he wants, okay? He wants you. He wants happy families. He wants everything to be good. But the self-doubt, the fear, the just lack of inner balance, this fear of rejection, it's eating him alive. Let's see what the connecting one says. I must focus on wanted to manifest wanted. We would never go so far as to say that the behaviour of others is responsible for the way you feel, because you have the power to focus and therefore attract, despite the behaviour of others in your environment. If every time you see something and you want unwanted, you realise that in the same moment your awareness of something wanted is stronger, and you quickly turn your attention in the direction of the newly emphasized wanted, everything in your experience will continue to improve. So that's a powerful message for you both. You know, when you find yourself focusing on lack, immediately move your attention to what you want. Don't focus on the negative. Both of you, I feel, are being trapped in this. And Divine Feminine, you know, this self-care card is really reminding you that you need to step back into your own power and stillness. You know how to do this. You've already put in the work. And these little mini triggers, this stuff coming up, you know, that are designed to help you finally collapse that codependency template, you just need to flow with that. You just need to let it go. And I know that sounds hard, but it's doable. I've actually just announced a surrender class. If you're struggling with that, come and join us. I'd be very happy to help you move forward on your journey. You can find information about that on my website. But if you'd like to book a tarot reading with me, you can do that through my website. There is a coupon code on my YouTube community page at the moment, which gives you a 45% discount. It's limited to 30 bookings. I believe a good number of those have already been booked, but there's a few left. So go and grab yours now, because once 30 of those discounted bookings have been purchased, it will go back up to full price. You can also find a coupon code for my classes and the guided meditation classes through my Facebook page. Okay, pile 3, Lepidolite. What's happening in your connection post 1010 portal and the Aries full moon? What do you need to know? Divine Feminine, surrender. Wow. Divine Masculine, growth. It's very powerful, positive cards. Divine Feminine, the Star reversed. The Queen of Pentacles. The 8 of Swords. The Knight of Swords. 5 of Cups reversed. Nine of Wands reversed, the masculine. Eight of Wands reversed. Four of Pentacles reversed. Three of Swords reversed. Six of Cups. The World in reverse. Six of Swords in reversed. Connecting energies. We've got the Six of Pentacles in reverse. And the Lovers. Beautiful. For the Oracle cards, we've got childhood and freedom. For the masculine, we've got endurance and boundaries. The connecting oracles, they've got inner alchemy, and I'll read that one later. Divine feminine. I feel like if you've picked this pile, these big 10-10 and full moon energies have been particularly difficult for you. You feel like giving up. You feel tired, exhausted. I'm getting a real sense of just throwing your toys out of the pram and just saying, I've had enough of this. I don't want to do this anymore. I just don't want to do this anymore. I've had enough. Now remember that the 10-10 portal is about completion. This collective shift is driving us all towards completion, and we're not all ready for it. So that push can be really brutal. And I feel this is what's happening here, but you can use it to your advantage if you can just step up and really embrace this opportunity for a big week or so with these very intense energies. Arthur's saying, it serves you, darling, it serves you. It always serves us, however brutal it is. But I feel like for you, there's a lot of people that perhaps were a bit further away from surrender that really have been shoved so hard that it can feel very overwhelming. The poll I did on my page yesterday revealed that a good 65% of you are really struggling with these intense energies. There's a lot of childhood stuff as well come up for you. This is what's indicated here with this childhood card. And it's a feeling of instability. So these wounds, pertain to some kind of dysfunction where you just couldn't rely on things staying secure and stable. 1 minute it's okay, the next minute it's not. 1 minute it's okay, the next minute it's not. Up and down, up and down. And this instability has left you with an insecurity, in your current awareness. This is the filter, the lens, or whatever that you're currently reacting to life through. And this is what you're being called to purge. And it's probably come up, you'll remember this feeling. You're probably feeling it right now, this one of, oh my God, it's so up and down. I can't rely on anything being constant or regular and stable. I feel like you're so ready for emotional freedom, though, from this pain. But there's some hard truths here for you, Divine Feminine. You really are your own worst enemy at the moment, because these negative, intrusive thoughts, I feel, have really begun to overwhelm you through these energies, and you're really being called to surrender. I know you don't feel ready. You don't feel ready to let go of the pain. Perhaps you don't know how to let go of the pain. But emotional freedom is within reach. Growth is within reach. But this lack of faith, lack of optimism, and this kind of, it's not fair attitude that you're currently residing in isn't serving you. And there's a lot of earth energy here that's coming through with this Queen of Pentacles. This could be Capricorn, Virgo, or Taurus. And I think this is where you find your balance and your footing in controlling your external world. But you need to connect with Source and surrender to Spirit. So, I feel like when all this stuff is bubbling up to meet you so that it can be healed, you're very good at pushing away and focusing on your 3D reality, work, family, home, socializing, going out, very distracting behaviors. But this just keeps you stuck. It keeps you stuck when you avoid it. It's like you get so pissed off, you just throw your toys out the pram. I'm not doing this anymore. And so you end up, slowing down your own healing progress, because there's a reluctance to address it here. We've got the Queen of Pentacles here upright, and this emotional freedom and surrender that's being presented. But this very, this reaction from childhood to this kind of instability and the up and down of the journey is really triggering you hard. And so you're not facing the emotional wounds that need to be dressed, and I mean literally cleaned and dressed, so that you can heal and that you can navigate that, put that cycle behind you and move forward in that change. And, with the Nine of Wands in reverse, there really is a feeling of just, I'm done. I want to give up. I'm focusing. I think you're probably looking at it in a positive light, and you may actually see this as surrender. I don't need him anymore. I don't need this stupid journey. I'm going to focus on me. And that might feel really empowering. But it's so focused on your 3D reality, it's actually moving you away from what this journey is about, which is healing of self. And you need to take your eyes off the goal. When we're walking, if we're just focused, when we're moving forward on our path, if we've only got our eyes on the goal, we're not giving ourselves the time and space to enjoy and learn from the growth, expansion and experience that's contained within the journey. So, you've been looking ahead, you're not getting there, so you've become really frustrated and said, I'm not doing it. You're being asked to look down at your feet and put one foot forward and just celebrate that. Pardon me, I've got a really tickly cough. I've been quite unwell this week, but that's the first time I've coughed today, subtle when I'm doing a reading too. Now, your masculine, he's kind of, the boundaries card gives us an indication that he might have pushed you away. But there's a tremendous amount of blocked energies for here. And interestingly, I feel with the Six of Cups, he's also cycling through childhood triggers pertaining to instability. But whereas, you feel like giving up, this for him, this 10-10 portal and new moon has been a breakthrough. And of course, it is a very masculine energy with that Aries full moon, because we've got this number 5 of growth and this card of endurance, which sees, all of these hands holding the world up, and 4 eyes here, which are blue. They understand the truth. They understand what needs to be done. That said, he's a little bit intimidated. He's not rushing forward to create these changes. He's not letting go of his feelings, of his thoughts. There's a 3 of Swords in reverse here, which means he's not as focused on his pain. He's more focused on healing, but he's not yet made that transition. He's not ready to complete this cycle of growth or learning. He's still working through it. So there's no action here right now. But when you unblock all of these energies, this is a very powerful lineup for him. And he's on his way. So this is definitely a period. Sorry, these cards are new to me, so this is such an interesting card. So this is a 6 of Swords, which normally means a journey, moving away from something that doesn't serve us towards something more positive. It's a card of transition and change. But 6 is the number of love. This is a transition we make for love. But what's so interesting about this card, I'm going to bring it and show it to you. Look at that. You've got this lady here with this figure on the very tips of her fingers. And this is reversed. And I feel like, this is pertaining to your strong connection. And he really does feel like his life is in your hands, which is what's triggered him to put up these boundaries, to push you back. That's a terrifying thought. But I think he's probably come to terms with the idea that he cannot run away from this connection. That when he tries to do that, it haunts him. But he's not ready to let go of these feelings. And I'm picking up as well, he's not ready to let go of what doesn't serve him. He's not ready to make that change, to make that transition. He's still healing. But he's certainly not as focused on his pain. The connecting energies up here are the inner alchemy is achieved when you react to fear with love. And I want to look at this one as well. When you pass from this world, you take nothing with you but your soul and the memories you have shared with those you love. So Queen of Pentacles, so focused on your 3D-ality, your work, you need to readdress the balance there. In fact, you've got the Six of Pentacles. There's a connecting energy here, which is the lack of equal give and take between you. And this is probably presenting as one of the problems that he's trying to overcome. And this feeling of being childish or perhaps even dependent. So, these childhood wounds that are coming up, but he knows that he cannot give equally right now, perhaps in very practical terms as well. So that's a powerful reminder for both of you, but I feel him especially because he's really measuring his own self-worth based on his ability to contribute on an equal financial basis perhaps, or, using his career or lack of as a measure of his success and achievement and worth. The connecting energy is the Lovers. You've got a lot of sixes as well in this reading, and no, stand under my umbrella. You need to support each other through this healing period if you're able to. But Divine Feminine, this does mean you're going to have to accept some platonic communication, I think, and you're going to have to lead by example as far as unconditional love's concerned. Once you conquer fear with love, that's when you find yourself in surrender and you're on the full cusp of it. But you're trapped right now in your own self-defeatist thoughts and this idea that you want to give up and you're not facing the triggers that are being presented to you. As I said, this 10-10 portal is shoving everyone towards these surrender and union energies. And actually, some couples do come into union before they've healed. It happens. It's very, very challenging, but it feels like there may be an opportunity for you here. Your Divine Masculine's guard is up, but there's also a renewed desire for growth, to fight, to get through this, to battle through the pain he's been feeling, to face his own fears, to make that transition. He's just not quite ready yet, but I'm feeling very strongly that if you can show him the right kind of love from your own place of stillness and surrender, that this can at least bring the connection to somewhere a bit more balanced where you can have stable communication and begin supporting one another's healing. And this could be very platonic, but the trust that's built during that period of communication is moving you towards this lover's energy. Let me get some more of these for you. So guidance to moving forward. Powerful cards today, guys. By the way, I can't see your comments because the phone's up there. So I know I'm live. It's because YouTube wouldn't let me upload for some reason today. So I thought I'd just go live. But so I apologise if you're saying hi or dropping me loads of comments or asking questions. I can't see them. But thank you for joining me. Divine Feminine. The universal law of attraction is managing my expansion. The law of attraction is the universal manager of all vibration, which expands to everything that exists through the universe. And so, at the same time that the law of attraction is responding to the vibrational content of your physical thoughts, it is also responding to the vibrational content of your inner being. Divine Feminine, this is why you have to step out of this childhood pain you're feeling, at the on-off instability. It's not to do with your connection. It's the connection that's triggering that pain that needs to be healed, and you're avoiding it by, focusing on your 3D, dismissing your spiritual connection, which is what's going to bring you emotional freedom. And this card is reminding you that you are manifesting more of the same. If you're existing in lack of faith and this kind of bratty, throwing your toys out the pram behavior, you're attracting more of the same. If you're saying, I'm going to give up, you're creating a vibrational response to that suggestion, okay, which is going to disrupt the flow of energies, not just on your own path, but within your connection also. So you need to be aware the universal law of attraction is managing my expansion. It's powerful. You need to start moving your thoughts back towards the happy, confident, faithful place. And I know you know what that feels like. You may not have been able to hold that feeling, but that's what surrender is. You get a taste of that before you reach surrender. You're like, oh wow, this is what bliss and peace and acceptance feels like. And then you come crashing back again. And this feels like this is exactly what's pissed you off. You're like, oh, for God's sake, up and down, up and down. It reminds you of this instability in childhood. But you can get through this. That's what you're being asked to heal. For the masculine, why do I want the relationship I want? Think about what you want in a relationship and why you want it. Look for those around you who are experiencing good relationships and feel appreciation for them. Make lists of the positive aspects of those good feeling relationships you have spent time with. In fact, one of the fastest ways to make your way to a wonderful relationship is to find any subject that consistently feels good. Even if it has nothing to do with relationships, focus on that. And I feel like this is what this masculine is stuck in as well. It's very similar energies, that you're actually manifesting the opposite of what you want. And he's been asked to focus also on what he does want and look for examples of that in his environment so that he can focus his intention. My most important relationship is with Source. And this is also number 6. 6, 6, 6, 6. We had so many sixes in this reading. There is no relationship of greater importance to achieve than the relationship between you in your physical body, right here, right now, and the soul, source, God from which you have come from. If you tend to that relationship first and foremost, you will then and only then have the stable footing to proceed into other relationships. Your relationship with your own body, with money, with your parents, grandchildren, children, and your world will all fall easily into alignment once you tend to this fundamental relationship first. If that doesn't sum up what this journey is about, what love is about, I don't know what does. I've not used these cards, and that is a powerful message. It's number 6, which is the number of unconditional love, and it's reminding you that you need to love yourself. Each of you needs to come into union with yourself before you can have full union together. But I do feel that you two are going to be able to support one another in getting there. But Divine Feminine, you are so close, and your masculine wants to change. He wants to grow. He's got this hunger and drive at the moment to succeed and move forward. Even though he's terrified and he doesn't feel ready for it, he's starting to look at how he can make changes. So I really hope that helps. If you would like a reading with me, there's a special offer on my YouTube page at the moment, 45% off a 30-minute reading. You can go and get the coupon code from my community page. I'm also doing a free guided meditation session about surrender in my Facebook group this weekend. You can join my Facebook group to find out more about that. You can find me for all of my private services, twin flame connection checks and so forth at www.happysouls1111.com. I've just announced a ton of new classes as well. So come and check them out. Thank you so much, all of you, for watching and for tuning in, for liking, sharing, subscribing, and your comments down below. I appreciate it all. Lots and lots of love. Have a fabulous day. Bye.